Hi, Professor Wainaina here, your 5-minute teacher on education, childhood, youth, parenting, and all things school. Welcome. As teachers, we often take pride in the achievements of our most successful students, eagerly claiming them as products of our tutorage. We parade these success stories as evidence of our achievement and skill, suggesting that the accomplishments of these students are somehow a reflection of our own expertise. The temptation to bask in the light of accomplished former pupils is understandable, as it is human nature to want to associate oneself with success. But this selective acknowledgement is not only hypocritical, but also deeply disingenuous. For every student who goes on to achieve great things, many more do not. Some stumble, falter, or fall by the wayside entirely, ending up in dire circumstances. These students, too, are our products. To claim the successful and dismiss the unsuccessful is to engage in a deceitful and morally dubious practice that abdicates responsibility. In an ideal world, the mark of a great teacher would not be measured by the success of a few outliers, but by the outcomes of all our students. Education is not a selective enterprise where one can cherry pick which outcomes to own and which to discard. To do so is to undermine the very essence of what it means to be an educator. A true teacher understands that they bear some responsibility for the successes and failures of all students who pass through their classroom doors. Every student who fails to thrive, who becomes lost, who finds themselves in unfortunate circumstances, reflects a collective failure of the education system and the teachers within it. The uncomfortable truth is that while teachers may be quick to take credit for the accomplishments of their most distinguished students, they should be equally implicated in the failure of those who did not succeed. The student who ends up destitute or incarcerated did not arrive at such a fate in isolation. They were part of the same educational system, shaped by the same hands, influenced by the same teachers, who now proudly showcase their more successful peers. This cherry picking of outcomes is more than just an ethical lapse. It is an abdication of responsibility that is deeply harmful to the students left behind. By ignoring these students, teachers effectively send the message that some lives matter more than others, that only those who conform to a narrow definition of success are worthy of attention, support, or acknowledgement. This attitude perpetuates a toxic culture of elitism and exclusion within education, where only the exceptional are valued and the struggling are disregarded as inconsequential. Education, in my view, is not about creating a few shining stars whom we celebrate and own while letting the rest fade into obscurity. Every student deserves the opportunity to succeed, and every failure represents a missed opportunity, a moment where the system and those within it did not rise to the occasion. It is high time that we teachers recognize this and stop hiding behind the successes of a few to mask the failures of the many. The true measure of an educator is not how well they can teach the best and brightest, but how they can uplift those who are struggling, faltering, or on the brink of giving up. Taking responsibility for all students, not just the successful ones, is a fundamental moral obligation of teaching. It requires acknowledging the failures alongside the successes and committing to doing better for every student, not just those who make it easy for us to be proud. To be a teacher is to accept the profound responsibility of shaping lives, not just celebrating victories. It is to understand that every student, regardless of their outcome, reflects the teaching they received. We teachers must stop this selective ownership of outcomes. We cannot claim the glory of the successful without owning the plight of the unsuccessful. You cannot celebrate the student who becomes a doctor while ignoring the one who ends up on the streets or in jail. Both are your products. To truly honor our profession, we must acknowledge that all of them belong to us or none of them belong to us. We can't take one and refuse the other. Thank you for your time. See you in the next lesson.